Hey guys, it's me, the Connector. In today's video, we will be breaking down Spoke's most recent video, covering all the secrets, possible outcomes, and what we can expect in the unstable SMP. So let's dive into this. First, we start out by meeting a Null commander. Throughout this video, the Null commander has decided to aid Spoke in taking down JamatoP, because his recent actions have made JamatoP look weak due to Spoke deceiving him so many times. Throughout the video, Spoke gets Mappic and Jumper back on his side, but they have not been able to tell him about their secret insider. Later in the video, Spoke would construct an army to try and take down JamatoP, but little did he know he would be betrayed by Jumper and Mappic. They let their entire army free instead of trying to stop JamatoP once and for all. Because of this, he was forced to make another army, which would soon fail as JamatoP gained orbital wither cannons. Throughout the remainder of the video, we see Spoke and JamatoP clash until Spoke finally wins and gains the totem. Now, I know that was a bit fast, but now that I've caught you up to speed, we're really going to dig into this video. First of all, do Mappic and Jumper really trust Spoke in the first place? Well, we could first tell after the moment where Spoke sent Mappic and Jumper away while he talked to the leader that they were already suspicious. We can support this because when Spoke had a Null crossbow, notice how Mappic never mentions it, almost as if he wants to avoid raising any suspicion from Spoke. Though I find Jumper's critical thinking skills are not that sharp, because when we learn what they were planning behind Spoke's back, it was literally to flee into the most open area possible that had no cover and was guarded by Null players along the walls. The crazy part is they think they are free. I don't understand it. She should be aware that these Null players can track them anywhere, and she has experienced it herself. So why is she not getting rid of the main problem and instead running from something that can't be outrun? Sure, maybe they just don't trust Spoke, which is fair, but I don't believe Jumper would be this careless unless she has a trick up her sleeve. We did learn that Mappic was captured later on in the ending, so it's possible Jumper was captured as well, and we may see her in purgatory. Though after the betrayal involving Spoke, things may be rough between the two. Though what happened to Mappic? The last time we saw him was when Spoke shot Mappic off into the void. Earlier, however, Spoke mentioned that he might see him again. Here's the clip.
Mappic?
Yeah.
I will get you out of this. And maybe I will see you again.
Maybe they were talking as if they would meet in the afterlife, but remember, they are in the Nether. Under the Nether is the underworld, and Spoke has already mentioned that he knows about its existence. It's not that far-fetched that he believes Mappic may survive. Also, JamatoP needs Mappic alive in order to control Spoke, so he probably set something up for him. After all, we never saw a death message from Mappic when he was pushed off, though I'm not sure why JamatoP was acting like he was going to die from the void when there isn't any. Maybe later on we will see Mappic become part of the Soul Keepers, or perhaps he will be trapped with them. If he were to join them, we could probably get more lore about the Soul Keepers or maybe see conflict between both sides, as Mappic would likely believe that Spoke doesn't care about him and intentionally got him killed. I would also like to dive deeper into the fight between JamatoP and Spoke, because what in the world was this performance? I was more confused than anything. First, it starts with Spoke being trapped until randomly the cannon is disabled and his army begins crossing the lava moat, even though his entire army supposedly died to the orbital wither cannon. Then he ends up not using the cannon at all to attack JamatoP and instead meets him in the middle. They have some dialogue before fighting it out. Overall, the fight was hard to watch if I'm being real. A mace with windburst and no air control was rough. JamatoP lacked PvP skills, and somehow the commanders did too. It was a really awkward fight until JamatoP's commander died, leaving Spoke and his commander against him. Now, JamatoP apparently has run out of options, so can you guess what he does? 1. Use the totem of Null to control hundreds of players and have them kill Spoke. 2. Teleport out of the fight. Or 3. Use an orbital wither cannon to blow up his army, his base, all the prisoners, and somehow trap himself on a single piece of bedrock. If you guessed the third answer, you are correct. Also, I'm kind of confused. For someone who is supposed to be a really old and powerful player, why doesn't he have an elytra? If you have almost infinite power, why don't you have one? Why doesn't he have pearls or any other way to escape? I feel like the ending was a little plot convenient. And, Spoke, what happened here? Don't get me wrong though, the ending was pretty tough, but what can we assume happens next? I believe that when Spoke comes back to fix Spawn, we know he has turned a little more evil, so fixing Spawn could mean either good or bad things, though it won't be easy as Saporata has now claimed Spawn, becoming the new ruler of the unstable SMP. So we are most likely going to see Spoke having conflicts with Cindercrest. It is possible Parrot may return and work with Spoke, though I could definitely see Spoke taking over Spawn and becoming the version of himself that Swag once warned about, especially if he still has an army and controls Spawn. Though we do not know how many Null players there are, we don't fully understand their technology, how they recruit more people, or many other details. I really hope we get some answers in the coming episodes. A few other things I wanted to point out involve the totem of Null. Clearly, this totem was made in the Far Lands, as you can apply illegal enchantments to items there. More importantly, I think Swag may have been inspired by, or have some connection to, the totem of Null. Both have similar functions. Invis Mafia had everyone's identities hidden, and members could be stasis chambered into the void. Null also has scrambled names that hide identities, along with the totem of Null, which stasis chambers every member when it pops. Both teams also share similar architecture if we consider the withered ones to be connected to Null, and both groups had previous leaders before Swag and JamatoP took over. Both teams use netherite for all players and use colored trims to indicate rankings. Some Null builds even have a Mafia-style theme to them, and both organizations contain absurd amounts of wealth. They also use the same strategy of mining all the way down to bedrock for their builds. Both leaders are not fighters themselves, but instead rely on fear and control to command others. The withered, Null, and Swag's empire are all very similar and could possibly have some interesting connections. Anyways, that's all for this video. By the time this is uploaded, you can check out our newest update on Unstable HMP. Unstable HMP is an almost one-to-one recreation of the Unstable SMP, with the only main changes of having a 4-day death ban and some PvP tweaks. In the update, you can explore all the areas Spoke and his friends once traveled to. I can't wait to see you guys there. Anyways, it's been me, the Connector, now disconnecting.